I'm so pleased and so happy to be here with Eleni Troumpouki today. Hello, Eleni.
Hello, Martha. Thank you so much for this beautiful opportunity and this beautiful day. I'm grateful to be here with you at this moment.
Me too, very much so. We met in 2018 in Bangladesh, right? We were just talking before about that 5 years ago in a very different environment, very different context. And we haven't seen each other since, but we stayed in touch more or less. And I'm really honored to have this conversation with you today. Yeah, when I contacted you, because you were really in my heart space to talk with for the podcast, you immediately said you want to talk about self-love. Correct, right? And Eleni, I would like to ask you, why is it that self-love, what is it for you, or what importance does it play in your life?
I'd like to start first by saying that for me, loving ourselves is basically having gratitude for that gift of life that was given to us so freely here from God, from Source, through our parents. And self-love is to love and accept ourselves where we are at now, right now, at this very moment, irrespective of what's going on, irrespective of our health issue or our breakup or our financial situation, our mistakes, our past transgressions, just to accept the totality of who we are right now. Because from that space, we cultivate the inner strength, the inner peace, harmony, inner safety. And that relationship that we form with ourselves defines the relationship to our parents, to our children, to our family, to our friends, to our colleagues, to Mother Earth. And I believe that self-love comes along with self-respect. And when we love ourselves, we respect ourselves. And by respecting ourselves, I also mean the courage to do the inner work, the courage to heal ourselves, to release our traumas, to liberate ourselves. Because through that inner work that we do, then we can step into our role of being of service and contributing to the highest, to the greatest good. And by loving ourselves, we honor our inner cycles, the ups and the downs, and we understand that they are all part of the human experience that we came here to experience. So from that space of centeredness and understanding the duality within us, we can be the grandest version of ourselves. So that is for me self-love. Wow. Understanding where we're at and being courageous enough to improve, to expand our consciousness, because that's what we came here to do. That's how I see it.
I love your answer. It's so profound, and it's also very holistic. Like what you mentioned with the connection you have out of your centeredness, out of your self-love, this space, that this is basically the foundation for everything else. And I also loved what you said about no matter what, you can always have self-love, even though your circumstances might not be easy at the moment. Thank you for your beautiful answer.
Thank you for saying me.
Yeah, you mentioned, Eleni, that it takes courage. It takes courage, and it's a path. I would like to ask you, what brought you more on this path of self-love?
Well, in a nutshell, if I had to answer this question with a sentence, that would be that I believe that we come here with that specific reason to love ourselves. And for me, I'm 100% resonating with that statement, because I grew up in a very small town in Greece, in a very conservative environment with patriarchal conditioning, and you know, I learned how to relate with the world through the relationship of my parents, which was founded in strong religious mindset and patriarchy. So I didn't feel free enough in my expression. I felt not supported enough, and that is combined with my society in general. I love my parents, and you know, I acknowledge them for everything that they did, and I love them so much. At the same time, the society and, you know, my soul chose to reincarnate in that specific context, and I was very quiet and rebellious at the same time, and I wanted to break free. So I started traveling, and I've been to like 60 countries solo to this day. And this, I realized I was always searching for that inner liberation. I was always wanted to challenge myself by seeing different countries, different cultures, being in different contexts, but still I was having difficulty in finding my core self. So in 2020, I realized that the longest journey was not the thousands of miles on different corners of Earth, but it was from the mind to the heart. Oh, yeah. And this happened, actually, I met a beautiful man who I was in love with, and we were never together. And I feel that his presence, he came into my life in order to show me all the parts of me that I didn't love. He was like an activator, an initiator to that self-love path that I took since then, and I fell in love because he had fully expressed what I hadn't have the courage to do. He is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful musician and a shaman. So he had everything that I wanted. And from seeing that, I witnessed, like, I had, you know, dark nights of the soul, and many since 2020. And this allowed me to go into a path farther, because I've been into the healing path since like 7 years now. But in 2020, this event, like meeting him, was a catalyst that brought me closer to myself. And motivated me to show up for myself and step into my power and serve myself first, not in an egoistical way, but in a way that how can I serve myself so I can serve others? So we raise the consciousness of our precious planet. Yeah, that's the most important lesson for me, self-love.
Beautiful. And I resonate a lot with what you said. The longest way really is from our mind to our heart, and to our second heart, which is further down for women at least. And I also believe that you meet people who really are like a catalyzer, yeah, who bring that out, and you go deeper. Beautiful.
For sure. I feel that relationships are like the people that we love are our greatest spiritual teachers.
Yes, absolutely. Which practice, like talking a bit more practically, which practice do you integrate in your daily life or in your everyday life in order to keep self-love a priority? That would be nice to know.
I have 3 non-negotiables that are happening every day, no matter what. And this is meditation in the morning, even if it's for 5 minutes. nervous system regulation. Again, even if it's for 5 minutes, I have a practice 90 minutes for twice a week, but 5 minutes at least. I'm sure that, you know, I get into that space of creating safety within me. And then using my voice through chanting and singing, because my voice is my superpower. And it connects me to the spirit. And, you know, like I have some, for example, like in 21, 22, I was spending like 20 minutes in front of the mirror every day, saying affirmations, and working on releasing limiting beliefs. So I do believe in the power of, you know, or reprogramming our subconscious mind, which is again an act of self-love and contributes to our well-being. But now I no longer do that practice for 20 minutes, but every day, and especially in the lower moments when I find that I did a mistake, when I find that my behavior was not kind enough, or when I didn't manage a situation correctly, I go to the mirror and I say, I love you, I love you, and I forgive you. And for me, the most potent self-love practice is connecting to my inner child and playing, because playing is basically how we receive life, and being connected to that inner version of me, the little Eleni, I am able to receive life. So I'm sure that I make sure that, you know, I always get into, if it's not every day, at least weekly. Like I recently bought myself like 4 canvases without having like any skills in painting, but it's my child called me. So this can be going to a dance class that I hadn't experienced before, a specific type of dance. It can be whatever. It can be going climbing the mountain, or playing or dancing in the rain, because I'm very blessed to be here in Bali and I love the rain and all the tropical showers. So the little things. So for me, the most important practice has to do with play, and then my spiritual connection. Every night, no matter what, like no matter what's going on, I'm gonna sit down on the floor by my altar. I have specific objects that I connect with every day that have a specific meaning to me. And having, you know, cultivating this strong connection is what allows me to have courage to continue when life is like that. Beautiful. And these are all self-love. So to sum up, I'd say play, nervous system regulation, prayer.
Beautiful. You offer a lot.
Movement is also very important, like moving the energy, because if I have a cloudy mind and lots of, you know, foggy thoughts, I need to move. And honoring the body, taking care of the body, this vessel that I inhabit and I'm blessed to have.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, wonderful. You offer so many beautiful things for yourself, self-love. But out of that vessel, you bring it to the world. And I will link for listeners and for those who are watching our conversation, your offerings, right? And your coach. I think you do coaching. Maybe you do more I'm not aware of. I know that you do coaching and you guide people also into more self-love.
Exactly.
I think that's your main thing, but I'm not sure, maybe you want to explore a bit what else you offer and bring to the world and to interested persons.
Yeah, thank you for that question. I have developed an 11-week program, which is called the Healing Paths. And through that, I guide my clients to self-love and self-actualization. So it has to do with a deep work. First, it has 6 phases. First, we start with identifying the limiting beliefs and the wounds. And then for the following 6 weeks of the second phase, we go into the deep work, which has to do with inner child healing, ancestral healing, which is I'm very passionate about, because I inherited most of my traumas from my ancestry, And that also led me to go into becoming a facilitator for family constellations. And I'm very passionate about this work as well, which is something that I offer separately from the coaching program, but it's also in the program. And, you know, healing the mother wound, the father wound, the sister wound, brother wound, you know, it's doing the shadow work and understanding the parts, like the parts that do not define us, our anger, fear, our experiences, our addictions, and going also into spirituality. I'm very passionate about spirituality because it has enormously supported my path. And I've been working with shaman from Guatemala and Ecuador and spiritual teachers throughout these years, and Mayan, curandera, abuelita, that gave me some precious tools from their own ancestry. And I deeply honor the wisdom of, you know, my own ancestors, but they also like indigenous peoples. And I guide through that phase. We also touch upon spirituality a lot. And then there's a phase about mastering our energy. There's a phase about self-love, only purely self-love dedicated to that. And finding our purpose in life, finding our dharma, and then stepping into actualization. How do we bring forth our gifts, our own unique gifts? So this is the healing path. I call it the healing path. And it's something that took me many months to put together, and has to do with all my life's lessons and trainings and qualifications. And I also offer family constellations because, as I said, I do believe, that's my truth, that we inherit a lot of ancestral emotional baggage. And, you know, when we are born, we don't only inherit our, you know, biological genes and characteristics, but also the behavioral patterns and traumatic nuances. And for me, doing the healing work requires doing ancestral healing as well, and coming into resolution, coming into terms with whatever has happened in our family and our lineage. And I'm very passionate about this world because it has supported enormously myself and my clients.
No, it's very important. I do that work also, and I've done it, well done. I worked on myself and with my ancestors, and I truly believe that it's a big part of our journey to come into peace with our history, with our ancestors, and to learn from it, and to see the value and the gifts that come out of it. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Eleni. Before we end our conversation for today, I would like to ask you, is there a special advice you would like to give to listeners or to viewers? You mentioned before some things that you do in your daily life, but also maybe for people who have not a lot of experience with self-love, or who want to go on this journey and to integrate a bit of self-love. For now, what would be your advice or recommendation?
First, it would be play, because as I said, it connects us to life. That's how we receive life. And that is what is calming us down. And especially for people that live in dense cities, or, you know, have a dense environmental work environment, or you know, it's too much for our nervous system. I don't feel that we are primed to live in such contexts. So having regular access to whatever makes your inner child nourished and safe and adventurous and happy, do more of that. Meditation for sure, like coming back to understanding what's going on in my body. Why do I have this tension? Let me breathe into it. Allowing, you know, my mind to calm down. So having a strong meditation practice and spiritual practice. and soothing myself. I forgot to mention, I self-massage every night, even if it's for 1 minute. Like I have my essential oils that again give me life, right? The spirits of the plants, they give me life. They are all for that beautiful, rich human experience that cosmic game that we came to live. And I do believe that everybody, in order to liberate themselves and truly live an authentic life, needs to do the inner work, the healing work. And for people that, maybe they don't have the capacity to have the coach or the healer or the therapist, we have Mother Nature, who is the greatest healer of all. And music, sound healing. I'm passionate about sound healing and mantras. We were talking about mantras before when we were in Bangladesh. We were talking about
in this hotel room, right? In the middle of chaos, we were singing our mantras and drawing our mandalas. It really helps. It's such a nice practice. And yes, to bring out the inner child, right? And to dance, to move, to connect with nature, to draw, to write, whatever you feel like you want to do. Yes. Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. And self-love is such an important topic when we talk about light moments, right? Because the name of the podcast is Light Moments. And I think self-love is key to that. Yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Eleni. Thank you so much for your time and for your beautiful sharing. And I will look forward to hear more from you. And everybody who's interested, Eleni is based in Bali, like she said, but thanks to technology, we can connect from anywhere. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. They can find me also on Instagram. My name is Infinite Eleni, which is as it sounds, Infinite Eleni, because Eleni means light as well in my mother tongue, Greek. And I just wanted to put that name there in order for everyone to remember their own inner light, our infinite light, our infinity. And make this human experience at this, we have another day, let's make it fantastic. Whatever is happening.
Beautiful.
Of the ups and downs, be grateful for every moment that shows up. Thank you so much. Many, many blessings to you. Thank you. Blessings to all. Beautiful.